ahead on 12 News Weekend, a Crystal teen's courageous fight and her one humble wish. Then a Plymouth man's remarkable story of giving.
I'm very proud of him. He's such an inspiration.
But first, would you pay more for better roads? The Hennepin County Board gets ready to decide. 12 News Weekend starts right now. Would you be willing to pay an extra $10 a year for each car you own if it meant better roads and bridges?
Tuesday, the Hennepin County Board is expected to vote on the question. 12 News reporter Carissa Wyant has more.
Keeping roads well maintained is the goal of a new so-called wheelage tax. It could raise $9 million a year for Hennepin County. Drivers would pay $10 per car each year.
$10, if that's all it is, then that would be great.
But not everyone is in favor.
Because it's a lot of money. No, I don't like it.
Proponents say that in addition to improving the pavement, LED lights will be installed in intersections to reduce electric costs.
Some county commissioners also say it's a way to improve roads without raising property taxes. But is it fair?
I feel like people that are using them should pay for them, but I also want larger trucks to pay more. They damage our roads so much.
I don't like those kinds of taxes. I don't like regressivity.
County Commissioner Mike Opat has some questions about the wheelage tax.
Is there another source of funding that's fairer? Can we accomplish what we need to accomplish with the existing revenues we have?
Opat says he is opposed to it. He believes there are other ways to pay for transportation.
The legislature made this an option for counties. We had that option before and did not take it. I did not vote for it then. I don't plan on voting for it tomorrow.
So for now, the debate continues.
Because we have the ability to pry more money away from folks doesn't mean we should. I think we have enough resources in the system. I think we could spend our money a little more wisely than we do. We're divided on this one, and I don't know how the vote's going to come out.
In Brooklyn Park, Carissa Wyant, 12 News.
In the 7-county metro, Anoka, Washington, Carver, Scott, and Dakota counties already collect a wheelage tax. Ramsey County is also considering one.
Investigators are trying to determine what caused a major fire at a Plymouth apartment building. Fire crews got the call from a passerby early Friday morning that a deck was on fire. By the time they arrived, the fire was on all 3 levels of the building and in the attic. Residents evacuated after a fire alarm went off.
I saw a hot red ash that actually alerted me, and I grabbed my kids, and then I told the person I was staying with, I let her know that it was for real and we all had to go.
In all, a third of the 62 apartments had damage. The Red Cross helped some local families find housing.
In our weekend review, significant changes are planned at North Memorial Medical Center. The hospital plans to close the 6th floor at the end of the month as part of a restructuring plan. The Minnesota Nurses Union says the closure means nursing layoffs. However, hospital officials tell 12 News that positions will be available for all nurses. North Memorial, which is the smallest healthcare system in the Twin Cities, says it's shifting more resources to its outpatient clinics. In Osseo, construction could begin in early August on a business that city officials hope will jumpstart downtown revitalization. The Osseo City Council gave final approval to a gun club that would be one of the larger ones in the state. The gun club would replace an empty parking lot 2 blocks from Osseo High School. And the city of Brooklyn Center has high hopes for a vacant lot next to the Earl Brown Heritage Center. The city council approved a developer's plan for a Candlewood Suites hotel. 2 previous plans for the site fell through, but city officials are optimistic construction for this project could happen this year.
Maple Grove could soon be home to a new senior living housing development. A St. Louis Park developer has plans to build a $34 million senior living campus at the southeast corner of Weaver Lake Road and Main Street. Right now, it's a big plot of vacant land next to Lifetime Fitness and a number of other new housing developments. The project would fill a growing housing need for an aging baby boomer population.
We have an aging demographic, and that's the primary driver of that is people getting older, and a large group of people getting older. There's going to be more and more demand for these type of facilities.
The developer's goal is to begin construction in September and open in December 2014. Meanwhile, downtown Osseo is making room for new residents. City leaders and developers broke ground on a 71-unit apartment complex called 5 Central. It's on First Avenue, just north of City Hall. The Beard Group out of Hopkins has plans to build studio and 3-bedroom apartments.
It's nice to see a project finally come to fruition. That's kind of been a vision in the planning stage.
There's also a second phase to the project, which would include 40 more apartments. The first phase is expected to wrap up by next May. The Three Rivers Park District is taking action to save ash trees from the emerald ash borer.
The Park District started treating about 100 trees in the park system. So far, the treatments are in strategic locations like a campground or a golf course. Without a pesticide injection, the emerald ash borer is likely to kill many trees as it spreads over the next few years.
We're picking specifically areas like the campground here, our golf courses, where we want to maintain some level of canopy for the near future so that we can get something established underneath them long term. But the campground here, it's more to maintain canopy for our campers. The golf course, it's tees and greens if we have nice trees lining those.
Each treatment costs $100 to $150 per tree. Well, coming up on 12 News Weekend, a Crystal teen's courageous fight against cancer.
It's a remarkable story that includes a humble twist and one big surprise. And then later in sports, a former Armstrong hockey player's son is a Stanley Cup champion.
But first, it's your AccuWeather forecast. Prepare for a hot weather as we move into July. The Minnesota National Guard has declared Maple Grove a yellow ribbon city.
That's right. The designation goes to communities that go above and beyond to help military families. Maple Grove celebrated the honor this past week. The city spent the past year meeting certain criteria to get the yellow ribbon distinction. Volunteers signed up to help military families with everything from babysitting to home repairs.
It has been said when you give someone your time, you're giving them a portion of your life that you'll never get back. Your time is your life. That is why it's the greatest gift you can give someone.
There are more than 160 yellow ribbon cities all across Minnesota. The list includes Brooklyn Park and Plymouth. She made a wish, and this week it came true.
Crystal teenager Amy Jo Ashford wanted to give back to a special group of students who helped her through ovarian cancer. But as Alexandra Renzel reports, what the Totino Grace senior got in return was an even bigger surprise.
On stage with the Totino Grace Show Choir, Amy Jo Ashford sparkles and shines with the same upbeat spirit she used to fight cancer.
I was diagnosed January 24th, and bam, 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 surgeries, chemo, and now I'm cancer-free.
An ovarian cancer survivor, this 17-year-old is on the stage now because a local wish-granting charity wanted Amy Jo to be their 500th wish recipient.
Couldn't have asked for a sweeter girl or a better opportunity.
Amy Jo's wish, not a fancy trip or celebrity meeting, but rather to give back to her show choir friends who helped her get through cancer.
I can't possibly thank you enough for everything you did. You did the smallest things, and sometimes it meant the world to me.
Amy Jo's wish was granted. With hugs and gift bags, the show choir got blankets, new costume racks, and steamers to iron their garments when they travel.
My show choir group was just like so loving and supporting, and really became like a family.
The Wishes and More organization also had a surprise for Amy Jo.
We knew we also had to do something that was for Amy Jo.
You're gonna go to WeFest.
This summer, the country western-loving teen and her family will spend a weekend at WeFest to see the likes of Keith Urban and Carrie Underwood. She'll also be treated to a spa day with a friend. And this fall, when Amy Jo returns to the show choir stage, she'll be surrounded by friends, just as she's always been.
Well, in addition to the wishes granted by the local nonprofit, an anonymous donor from Robbinsdale also gave Amy Jo 2 tickets to see Friday night's Kenny Chesney concert held at Target Field. Great story.
It was.
Yeah.
Good girl.
Well, if you've never donated blood before, you'll want to see a Plymouth family story.
That's right. There's special reasons for giving back. That's coming up next. But first, the Maple Grove boys hockey team is using summer workouts to get acquainted with a new coaching staff. That's coming up in sports with Jay Wilcox.
Welcome back. Jay Wilcox joins us now with sports. And yeah, there's a big baseball tournament this weekend. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, you got to win a lot of games to get through this one, too, so it's a real tough test. The country's largest American Legion baseball tournament, the Gopher Classic, continues this weekend. A number of local squads are in the 90-team event. Osseo meeting Fargo in a second-round game. The top of the third, Brett Moody with a base hit for Osseo that scores Bryce Seelock. It's 1-0 Osseo. We go to the bottom of the sixth, tied at 1. Fargo's Joe Halleck rips a bases-loaded hit. 2-run score on the play, and Fargo grabs the lead. And they aren't done. Grunner Lindstedt with a line drive to center field. This one scores Ryan Smith. That makes it 4-1 Fargo. Osseo gets 2 runners on with 1 out in the top of the 7th, but a double play ends it as Osseo loses 4-1 after winning their first game 9-1 over Manitoba. Meanwhile, at Maple Grove, the host team battled Bloomington Blue. Top of the third, Bloomington's Alex George flares a single to right. Brian Mariska scores. It's 3-0 Bloomington. Next batter, Noah Ludke shoots a base hit through the left side of the infield. Kyle Lynch is in, and it's Maple Grove trailing 4-0. But in the bottom of the third, they start to come back. Ben Osborne hits a chopper in front of the plate. The catcher's throw to first sails high. Jack Keeblebeck and Joe Franta come in. It's a big play in the game. It makes it a 4-2 deficit. Then trailing 5-2 in the 5th, Keeblebeck hits a deep shot to right center that gets between the outfielders. Austin Bees scores from first on a triple for Keeblebeck. 2 batters later, Bees flies to center. Keeblebeck tags from third, and it will just beat the throw home to get Maple Grove within 1 at 5-4. In the bottom of the 6th, Maple Grove ties it and then takes the lead when Keeblebeck singles to left. Brady Meyer comes in. Maple Grove wins it 8-5. Well, it's a dream come true for any hockey player to win the Stanley Cup. A member of the Cup-winning Chicago Blackhawks has ties to the northwest suburbs. Defenseman Nick Leddy had the Cup at his old high school arena in Eden Prairie. Now, Nick's father, Mike, grew up in Plymouth, and Mike and his brothers played hockey for Armstrong. It's a huge thrill for the Leddys.
You know, it's been a whirlwind these first, 3 years in the NHL, and hopefully it gets better and better. It was like a dream, to be honest. That's what all us young hockey players dreamed about when we were younger, and honestly, it was surreal.
It's just been crazy. The experience with the Cup coming and so forth has just been absolutely a whirlwind, crazy, fun, exciting thing.
The stop at Eden Prairie Community Center was one of 3 Friday for the Cup. It may be July, but high school hockey players are hard at work preparing for the upcoming season. And it's an especially big summer for the Maple Grove boys.
Shot! There you go, there you go. That's where to bury it.
New Maple Grove boys hockey coach Tom Starkey likes what he sees this summer.
Being the first year going into it, I didn't really know what to expect as far as, the kids and their summer program and, kind of what they've done in the past. But I got to say the kids have been, 100% effort every day. I mean, they've really taken it seriously, and as a coaching staff, we really, really appreciate the work they've been putting into it.
For the players, it's a good chance to get to know Starkey and his staff.
It's kind of like a 3-month tryout in a way. I mean, they're watching everything out there. Everybody knows that, so I like it because everybody's just working extra hard. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's been a great time getting to know the coaches, learning their systems. They've been working us really hard in the weight room, and then we come out here and skate, so it's been a really, really nice ride so far.
One thing the coaches are emphasizing, playing with more grit.
A lot more, not a dirty style of play, but a more physical style of play. In the past, we've been kind of a pretty style of play, lots of stick handling and stuff. This year, we're going to get more in the corners. And
we got to play more physical. We're too soft. We just got to man up in the corners and win the little battles.
Things like, angling guys as they're coming in on their forecheck and, not trying to stick handle through the defenseman every time and, just kind of little, skill type things like that can be can be fixed right away. It's just, you know, and we'll get into systems a little more here as the summer goes on, but, you know, right now it's kind of working on a lot of skill development. D, how much easier is it when the guy forces him at the red line?
The players push each other, too, because they know this is a program that's capable of good things.
There's nothing that we want more than to get back to the XL. We push those guys extra hard because last year was a disappointment for us. We want to get back there every single year.
It's 6 weeks in the summer that'll propel Maple Grove into the 2013-2014 season. Interesting to see how things turn out with the new staff this year.
And he'll be here before we know it.
That's right.
All right, thanks, Jay.
You bet.
We'll be right back.
An Armstrong High School graduate will spend this summer at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
Daniel Lightfoot of Plymouth was one of about 150 students chosen to participate as a White House intern. Students work in one of several White House departments ranging from the Domestic Policy Council to the Office of Communications to the Office of Scheduling. Lightfoot studied political science at the University of Minnesota. He previously interned for Senator Al Franken. The need for volunteers to stock the nation's blood supply lasts year-round, but it's especially important in the summer when those donations tend to decline.
This weekend, we introduce you to some Plymouth natives and their remarkable story of giving.
There's been a few people whose lives have been changed.
All of the visitors to the American Red Cross,
It's all fun.
who take the time to donate blood,
Know I make a difference.
have their own reasons for giving.
You get a good feeling of helping people, and it doesn't really take much out of your life to sit here for 3 hours.
Yet, these people have one special thing in common. Meet Doug Zarkowski and his two daughters, Rebecca and Christina. Together, they form Team Zarkowski.
They saw me donating on a regular basis and saw that as an adult thing to do.
When Rebecca and Christina became old enough, they joined their father.
I kind of consider this our family hobby is one of the things.
Now the group consistently comes back every 2 weeks to donate platelets.
And all together, they've donated 121 gallons. So it's really great that they've formed a family affair and doing something to help give other people hope just with their time.
Committing the time is just as important as the willingness to donate, as each visit lasts up to 3 hours.
So they're really dedicated.
In Doug's case, that dedication has continued for the past 10 years. It even earned him the prestigious Heroes Award from the Red Cross.
I'm very proud of him. He's such an inspiration.
He's never done it for the recognition, though. It's just something he's going to do.
And at 55 years old, Doug says he's not stopping anytime soon.
I plan on keeping doing this until they say I can't do it anymore.
His daughters feel the same way, although they have some catching up to do.
I hope to surpass him. He didn't start as early as I did.
Well, Red Cross officials have issued an emergency request for platelet and blood donors of all types due to fewer donations than expected these past few weeks. For more information on how to donate, you can go to our website at 12.tv.
Sounds like a fun family, and they have fun doing their hobby.
Yeah, go give blood on Saturdays. It's a good time.
There you go. All right, that's all the news we have for now. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Have a great weekend. We'll see you again on Monday.